Hey everybody, how's it going? Josh here, and today we're going to talk about James Gunn's Suicide Squad and what we can really expect from it, both character-wise and also tone and things like that. Because as of me recording this, James Gunn has officially been confirmed to not only write the movie, but direct it as well. Which honestly to me is kind of a mixed bag of emotions, because while I do like a lot of stuff he does and has done before for Guardians of the Galaxy especially, at the same time, I don't really want to see some of those things retreaded in Suicide Squad. And I'm not talking about tone when I say that necessarily, or the theme of the film, nothing like that, as much as I'm talking about how he treats the characters in his film. Now, reports have stated that this film may be more of a reboot or revamp of the IP versus a sequel to the first movie that came out. And that would be kind of weird to me, because they already have characters like Deadshot introduced, Captain Boomerang introduced from Suicide Squad, and Harley Quinn as well, which were all well received. So I would think they'd want to bring those characters back, especially considering they got Will Smith on contract, who is usually a hot commodity. So if you have Will Smith on contract, you probably want to try keeping him, because he's a pretty charismatic guy, and honestly he's a great frontlining talent, especially next to Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Now, James Gunn will likely be assembling his own team according to reports we've gotten before. He doesn't feel the need, I guess, to be beholden to the Suicide Squad movie we got before. And honestly, I don't disagree with that. But at the same time, certain characters like Katana, I mean, what did we do with Katana? Absolutely nothing. It would be cool to get a sequel and maybe further explore some of those characters, especially because Katana has a pretty interesting plot you can do with the sword and all that stuff. But moving on past that, James Gunn reportedly is interested, as have been teased by certain scoopers and kind of reporters here and there, that he wants to do an adaptation with a team from the new Suicide Squad. Now, the new Suicide Squad was a comic run from 2014 to 2016 that kind of happened in the middle of the initial run of Suicide Squad New 52 and the newer run of Suicide Squad that happened with DC Rebirth. And the team members kind of changed a bit, but we had some of the more classical ones, so to speak, and by classical I mean the ones that appear in the movie, such as Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, and El Diablo, while at the same time getting some other members such as Black Manta, Parasite, Black Hand, Poison Ivy, Cheetah, Talon, and Reverse Flash, the Daniel West version. And this would be really interesting, because if WB does decide to reinforce continuity from the old movie and the other projects they've made since then, like Aquaman and Wonder Woman 1984 at that point, we could get a Black Manta, Cheetah, Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and Captain Boomerang led team. And honestly, considering the amount of characters that probably would be an entire team. And if they were to kill people in it as well, my money is kind of on Will Smith. Maybe they decide to just kind of have Will Smith come back, be a star of the movie in some respects, like marketing wise and stuff like that, besides Harley Quinn, and then they sacrifice him. Kind of not too dissimilar to how the 2014 Godzilla movie really pimped out Bryan Cranston for the marketing, and then he died, like 20 minutes into the film. So I wouldn't be surprised if that character died, or maybe even Cheetah died as well. Maybe a last minute change up in the new Wonder Woman movie is, instead of Cheetah getting killed, she kind of escapes. And it's like very vague whether she survived or not. And then in the new Suicide Squad movie, it's revealed that she did escape, but she was captured by Amanda Waller, because, you can't escape the wall. However, a potential situation also could be that James Gunn is reinventing certain characters, either new or returning. So we could get a Deadshot, but not played by Will Smith. Like we could get a Katana, but played by a totally different actress. We will probably get the same Cheetah, because the new Wonder Woman movie would be too close, I think. Harley Quinn, obviously they're not going to replace that actress at all, because they're giving her own movie now, kind of with Birds of Prey to a certain extent. But Captain Boomerang could be replaced. We could get El Diablo back, by the way, as well. If James Gunn decided to bring him back, they could come up with some comic booky reason for his return. And I'm sure any other character as well. Like I said before, the Suicide Squad has had tons of team members before, both related to characters we've seen in DCEU so far, and not related. I mean, how crazy would it be if instead of the Batman introducing the Court of Owls, we had Talon introduced in the new Suicide Squad? Just like how crazy would it be if we had Reverse Flash, Daniel West of all versions, introduced in the new Suicide Squad movie versus any other version of the Flash, considering we haven't even gotten a Flash movie. But honestly, I don't really want to look too deep into those kinds of things because I think James Gunn probably knows he can't just introduce any character. He probably has to introduce them through some means that have cohesion with the other DC movies, regardless of kind of his personal feelings, most likely. And to kind of make up for that, one thing James Gunn has done and never really been shy about, especially in the Guardians of the Galaxy films, is reinventing characters, which I touched upon a little bit earlier. And by that I mean he'll give totally different personalities, totally different origins if he deems it, or even abilities to certain characters. So it's possible that if you were to reuse Cheetah, for example, or reuse a new Deadshot not played by Will Smith, he'll give him a totally different personality, totally different motives, totally different abilities, honestly, as well. A perfect example is Peter Quill, Drax, Mantis, and Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock was made from being his usual origin of a very unique being in his own right to being now a synthetically created being amongst a bunch of races of Adam Warlock-like people with regards to their golden appearance. In the same vein, Peter Quill's origin was changed drastically as well, from being the son of Jason of Spartax to being the son of a Celestial that was Ego, which is even a further change because Ego was never a Celestial in the first place. And then that goes further to Mantis and as well to Drax with his family origins no longer being what they were before. Like on the basis, they're kind of there, but when you look closer at it, I mean, there's no Arthur Douglas there. There's no direct kind of he wants to kill Thanos. It's more he wants to kill Ronan, and then Ronan works for Thanos, so he wants to kill him as by proxy from that. But another likely theme we'll probably get is kind of redemption for your past actions, both because it's relevant to the Suicide Squad, even maybe more so than it is to the Guardians, while at the same time being more relevant now than ever to James Gunn himself as well. So I would definitely say we'll probably be able to expect all of these things, and it'll probably be a good movie. Honestly, it'll be probably a very heartfelt movie, very family-feeling movie with regards to how he'll build the team, which I will say is a huge strength I saw in Guardians of the Galaxy of his, like his ability to just make them feel kind of like a family by the end of the movie. Like you cared about Groot, you cared about the various characters, Rocket, you cared about everyone for the most part, even Drax, even though they gave Drax the blandest personality, even though that was intentional. But it's unknown if he would give a soundtrack to it like he did for Guardians. They kind of tried that with the first Suicide Squad, so maybe he'll go away from that to further differentiate it and kind of make it its own identity. But comment below your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think James Gunn will do for Suicide Squad? What do you think we should be expecting? And what do you think would be a cool character either to get in the movie or to get from the last movie and maybe get killed off? Comment below, and we'll see you guys later.